We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. Maryland Republicans introduce their solutions to curb juvenile crime across the state. We'll take a closer look at the 5 proposed bills. A shakeup on Capitol Hill after 2 congressmen are involved in a physical altercation. We'll hear both sides of the story, plus see what you had to say. And reduce, reuse, recycle. If you live in the city, you can expect DPW to pick up your recycling every 2 weeks. The new push for the agency to boost its pickup frequency. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. State Republicans are unveiling a new plan to revamp crime laws. It comes as the battle over juvenile crime is reaching a tipping point. We have team coverage of the calls for change and accountability. As Shannon Lilly explains, some are looking to new crime plans in D.C. as a possible solution. But we begin with Olivia Dance for a closer look at the juvenile crime plan that state Republicans are proposing. Olivia.
Republican lawmakers are rolling out their public safety proposals, some of which are specifically crafted in response to juvenile crime, which we know we've seen a lot of here in Baltimore. The proposed bills come after we've been hearing from concerned parents, police, and prosecutors when it comes to juvenile crime. Now, there's a total of 5 different bills in this public safety package. The plan calls to allow a parent approval of a juvenile facing questions from law enforcement to substitute for an attorney. It also requires February 2nd. The bill does not include more aid for Israel or Ukraine.
I certainly don't agree with everything he's proposing, and I can't imagine too many senators would have taken the Speaker's approach in drafting this bill on either the Democratic or Republican sides here in the Senate.
I think the Speaker has produced a solution for the CR that's clearly a step in the right direction. I intend to support it.
President Joe Biden has said he would sign the bill if it gets full congressional approval. Happening today, President Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping are set to meet face-to-face. It comes on the sidelines of an economic summit happening in California. President Biden is expected to try to stabilize ties with China after years of tense relations. The president is also expected to discuss managing economic competition between the 2 countries. The leaders last spoke about a year ago. 11:07 now. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, one person is dead after a double shooting in West Baltimore. It happened around 10:30 last night on Edmondson Avenue. Police found 2 men who had been shot. One died at the scene. The other is in critical condition. Trending number 2, Baltimore police seized 15 illegal dirt bikes and ATVs in Northwest Baltimore. BPD shared these photos of the seizure at a business along Park Heights Avenue. Police recovered 33 dirt bikes from this same business back in June. Trending number 3, it has been nearly 2 years since Baltimore City saw weekly recycling pickup. Mayor Brandon Scott promised that it would happen by February of 2024, but now it looks like residents will have to wait even longer. In October, DPW leadership claimed recycling would be fully back on track by April of 2024. Now it's cutting it close, but that would fulfill the mayor's promise to restore weekly recycling by Q1 of next year. However, in another hearing held just 3 weeks later, the interim DPW director told the Baltimore City Council that they are still evaluating the start date of weekly recycling. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, when and where should you tip? A new poll finds a majority of Americans are confused over when to tip, and many say they're being asked to tip more often. Coming up, a closer look at the etiquette and history of tipping. A major pharmaceutical company is working on a new weight loss drug. This time, it's not a pill. It's a pill and not an injection. Coming up, how it compares in cost to previous drugs. And some Americans are losing faith in science. What a new survey shows about Americans. That's coming up after the break.
A mix of clouds and sun for today, a little less windy for the afternoon, and though those warmer temperatures are coming, in fact, some of us today will be in the above average category, just slightly, looking for a high of 61 on your Wednesday. Back to the 40s tonight, and then we'll be back to the mid to upper 60s on Thursday. Looking good for the Ravens game. We'll be talking about that forecast for game time coming up.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
(11:11) now, and taking a look at your social stream. The two Republican lawmakers involved in an alleged physical altercation are sharing their side of what happened. On Tuesday, Representative Tim Burchett says he was doing an interview when former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy walked by and elbowed him. McCarthy says he did not and he would not elbow Burchett.
Somebody was interviewing me or talking to me, and he comes running up like, why did you hit me or something like that? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even know something transpired.
He's obviously not telling the truth. He's just in a downward spiral, and it's not indicative of the Republican Party or the conference. It's just indicative of him.
Burchett is one of the 8 Republicans who voted to oust McCarthy from his House Speaker role. Here's what you have to say about that. The halls of Congress are not unlike the halls of a high school in so many ways. Civility and professionalism have disappeared. Just sad. Another one says, men are too emotional to lead. A new poll finds Americans' trust in science is declining. According to a new report from the Pew Research Center, 57% of adults say science has a mostly positive effect on society, but that's down 8 percentage points since November of 2021 and 16 percentage points since before the pandemic. The survey found Republicans had less confidence in scientists than Democrats. Reaction. Some people don't want to believe climate or COVID are real. That's not scientists' fault. Another one saying, how can people distrust science? It's literally just a presentation of data and a conclusion based on them. Sure, certain data can be framed to portray a certain perspective, but I'm way more distrustful of religion. Science gave us the internet, smartphones, streaming, anywhere. All right, AstraZeneca is working on a new weight loss pill. Other recent popular weight loss options require an injection, but this pill would help with more modest loss than the dramatic cuts offered by injectable medications. The goal is a cheaper, easier way to tolerate the medicine in a pill form. Here's your reaction. If I'm not obese, can I get on this weight loss pill? And another person saying, consistent exercise is always the most effective way to lose weight. Well, are you a fan of self-checkout when shopping at the grocery store? Just ahead, who other than customers are starting to rethink the idea? And Amazon is making last-minute preps for the busy holiday shopping season. The new tech it's adding to its warehouses. 11:14 now on Fox 45 News Midday. Taking a live look over the Inner Harbor. In just a few minutes, meteorologist Justin Chambers will have your Ravens forecast, as well as a sneak peek at what you can expect for Thanksgiving. 11:16 now, and making headlines, House Speaker Mike Johnson is endorsing Donald Trump for president. That makes him the highest-ranking Republican so far to back the former president's 2024 bid. Johnson was among dozens of congressional Republicans who supported a lawsuit to delay the electoral vote to certify the 2020 election. Meanwhile, Trump's trial over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia could run into 2025. That is according to the prosecutor in the case. There is no set trial date yet, but the Fulton County District Attorney says she thinks the trial will take many months. The campaign fundraiser for embattled New York Republican Congressman George Santos pleads guilty to a federal wire fraud charge. Sam Miley worked for Santos's campaign during the 2020 and 2022 election cycles. He was indicted by a federal grand jury in August, accused of soliciting donations by impersonating former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. A consumer alert for you now, just in time for the holiday shopping season. Amazon is rolling out a whole new range of AI robots. Amazon already has many robots in use. In fact, 3/4 of what you order right now is already touched by a robot. A new report says the people buying houses right now are wealthier. According to data from the National Association of Realtors, the median household income for home buyers is $107,000. Last year, it was $88,000. The association's deputy chief economist says the housing market is still competitive, so more well-off home buyers have gotten their bids accepted by offering bigger down payments and some paying with cash. Coming up tonight on Fox 45 News at 4, it's been 6 years since Detective Sean Suiter died. The day before, he was set to testify in the Gun Trace Task Force scandal. We are talking to his wife, who says she is still fighting for justice. Then at 5, as the city inches closer to 10,000 stolen cars, thefts appear to be slowing. What's causing a change in the trend months into the car theft crisis? And at 6, Fox 45 is demanding answers from Mayor Scott on the future of the Safe Streets program. What we're learning as we continue to investigate the program's possible gang ties. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. 11:18 and now to today's talking point. If you're not a fan of self-checkout at the grocery store, you're not alone. And it's not just customers who don't like it. Some major companies are starting to rethink their use of the technology. Walmart, Costco, Wegmans all revising their self-checkout strategies, with some stores removing self-check lanes and reverting to cashier-driven checkouts. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. And what do you think? Do you like the self-checkout? Do you not?
Yeah, I like, it's interesting because I do marvel at, like you said, there'll be a packed store and the self-checkout line will be empty and then the lines will be packed. I'm always curious. I go check myself out.
I do too.
And I'm always just curious about, like you said, that obviously some people do not do that. And then also, sometimes it's the other way. And I notice, in my opinion, like at a Wegmans or grocery stores, it seems like I see that more often than at a Target. It seems like the self-checkouts are more active.
In a grocery store, then you've got to do your fruits and your vegetables, and all that doesn't ring up. Then you got to put in codes and that kind of stuff. So people don't want to do that. But I will do self-checkout. I'm not saying that I'm a huge fan of it. I don't think they should have converted whole stores to self-checkout. I don't want to have to do that every time. I do it because that's the choice you've left me. What I dislike more are the people who then stop me as I'm walking out of the store because I went through self-checkout to check my receipt to make sure I didn't steal something.
No disrespect to the receipt checker.
No, because that's their job. They have a job to do. But if you didn't trust me, you shouldn't have put me in the self-checkout.
Now, Patrice, we got to wrap this thing up, but I just want to let the world know, yes, I was a bagger. And I was there when plastic bags came out.
Oh, so you've seen them come and now go.
Yes, and if you ever need me to bag your fruits and the fish and the stuff, I separate and I do it properly. So just give me a call.
You do a good job then.
That's
All right. Well, we have to move on now. It's time for your wild and wonderful weather with meteorologist Justin Chambers.
Really pretty shot here. This is from D.C., and you can see the reflecting pool right there and the nice morning glow. We saw a little bit of that here at home, of course, down the road and all over the DMV. Had some very nice conditions here for the morning, albeit a little bit on the cooler side. We're going to warm up as we get later into the afternoon, mid to upper 50s, and eventually some of us will sneak into the lower 60s. Notice the average this time of year is 58, so those numbers are going to keep climbing with a lot more sunshine for today, and overall a few clouds hanging around, not nearly as much wind as we saw yesterday. Sun will be up until 4:52, so those daylight hours continue to shrink as we get halfway through November and getting closer to winter, which is around the corner. But nothing like winter-like temperatures, or not winter-like temperatures for today, with mid to upper 50s and lower 60s across central Maryland. Lower 60s down into Baltimore and D.C. over to Cumberland, 60 in Richmond, and 57 if you're heading down the ocean. Great weather for tomorrow night's game, the Ravens game, as the Bengals will be in town Thursday night. After highs in the 60s, we'll drop to the 50s by kickoff and then kind of hang in the 50s throughout most of the game. So just make sure to have that Ravens pullover and you'll be good to go. Tracking our temperatures, though, afternoon highs, 60s and even close to 70 by Friday before those numbers start sliding back down to earth, and even cooler by Monday of next week. So we'll see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover as we take you into your Wednesday afternoon. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday and warming up nicely with that southerly flow. Even on Friday, with those clouds around, we'll see the rain that's not going to impact us till after, I'd say, about 7 or 8 o'clock on Friday evening. That's when we'll have our best chance for some of the rain, and that rain will linger into the overnight hours, but should be all done by the time we head into Saturday. So 10-day forecast, which includes Thanksgiving now. You can see the little turkey right there. 60s through Saturday, and then back to the upper 50s Sunday. A little cooler next week. Definitely tracking that next weather maker Tuesday into Wednesday, which will bring a decent amount of rain to the mid-Atlantic.
It's looking nice. All right, well, still ahead. The future is here. We're going to take you inside the new air taxi that just made its first flight in New York. Plus, we'll share just how much a ride inside one of these will cost. And a warning before you start cooking this Thanksgiving. Coming up, the 3 things to remember when you're cooking your turkey. 11:23 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25. Don't miss this. A warning before stepping into the kitchen and popping your turkey into the oven. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says an average of 1,600 cooking fires take place on Thanksgiving Day, more than 3 times the daily average. You don't want that. The group is reminding people it is important to stay close while your food is on the stove or in the oven. And if you are frying a turkey, make sure it is completely thawed and place the fryer far away from your house. Never have it on the porch. Never have it in your garage. One of the first electric air taxis takes its maiden voyage out of New York City. The creators of this all-electric air taxi call it EVTOL, short for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing. It carries 4 passengers and can get from Manhattan to JFK Airport in 7 minutes. That's great. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
When it comes to your wedding, how far is too far? You know, inviting your friends to be a part of your big day and the activities around it. We'll talk about it coming up on Be More Lifestyle.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with the business bully, Dave Anderson. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let me tell you right now. So, a majority of Americans say they're being asked to tip more often. A new survey finds 72% of adults say tipping is expected in more places now than 5 years ago. And there's a mixed response on when to tip. Nearly half Americans say it depends on the situation, while nearly a third say it's more of an obligation. The rest say it's more of a choice. Business bully, you know, we remember the original days of tipping. And so, you know what I mean? I think the young people don't even know how it even works. So what's your take on this? Everybody's asking for a tip now.
Yeah.
What's your take? The business bully, the millionaire.
I will tell you this. I think it's customary to tip. I think that there are certain people who automatically should get tipped. Waitresses, the mailman, because they're bringing your stuff, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, your kindergarten teacher, all that kind of good stuff needs to happen immediately. But tipping you just because you said hello to me this morning, yeah, that doesn't work. I'm not in the strip club.
Wow, anymore. Lady T. Now, Lady T, normally you get flued out, so you don't have to worry about tipping, but
I don't
I'm just
have
saying.
to ever worry about tipping. Just kidding. No, I do need to worry about tipping.
Are you a tipper? Are you, is your
She's
reputation a big tipper
She's a
or
tipper.
a little tipper?
I'm a little tipper because let's say if I don't have it, you won't have it.
Not the little tipper.
I'm a little tipper. Okay, not the big tipper. If it depends on the service. If I get good service from you, if I'm sitting down, then it's fine. I think the crazy part is them wanting tips for like curbside service and stuff, or like for if it's to go and all you did was put it in the bag.
Yeah.
No, baby, you are not getting a tip for putting it in the bag. I could have done it. You could have given me the bag and the food. I put it in myself.
The worst is, I feel bad because the worst is, I'm actually a good tipper when the money's right.
Listen,
the worst is when you don't really have it like that and you had a nice meal and they did a good job and you just like, you hit them kind of low. I feel so bad. I'm like,
no, don't feel bad.
And they know who I am.
It's like doing an offering. It's like doing an offering at church. You know what I mean? If you got it, you're going to give a lot. If you don't, you're not going to.
We want you to tell it, okay? We want you to tell it. Do you always leave a tip? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the Lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, a mom is going viral asking for advice after recently moving to America and learning her son's name means something entirely different here than it does at home. She says her son's name is...
You better spell it. You better spell it. Don't say it.
Rhymes with Beeman. S-E-M-E-N.
There you go.
She says not only is it pronounced differently at home, it obviously doesn't mean what it means here. Now she's wondering what to do. Does she change her kid's name? Let's go to this again. Business bully. He handles these situations. So
it's the men of the sea. It's the men of the sea.
What do you think? What do you think, Dave?
I think she needs to just, cut her losses and look at some other names like maybe Pearl Jam or Navy for her son.
Jam.
But no,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think when it comes to, I deal in crisis management, so I think it's more of a situation where you have to realize where you are and those cultural differences, right? And so, I think the best thing she could do is probably just name him Chuck.
Wow. Oh, wow. No, that's not a good one.
I thought. What about Simeon?
Oh, no. Oh, please stop it. Simon.
That's a good name.
She could just do Simon.
Simon.
She could do a Tyrone and call Tyrone, boo-boo, because why would you name your child that? I think as a future, I think, mother, I could not, it could not be me. Okay, you got to be a little bit careful in these streets with what you name your kids, because, you want them to be able to get jobs and stuff. So I think she got to be careful.
Well, great job, guys. We managed it so well.
We do good.
All right, so come on, let's move on to the next story. Come on.
We behaved ourselves.
Trinity, now, how much is too much to ask of your friends? One woman is asking for advice, saying the price of her friend's bachelorette party is outrageous. She says the bride is looking at a 4-night trip that would cost more than $500, and that's just for the hotel. Still, there's food and entertainment. To think about how much is too much to ask for your friends.
That's a lot.
But you know what, ladies?
But you know what? That's normal. That's normal.
I was going to say, $500, and a lot of times for the dress is like $500, right?
It's like $300 to $500 for the dress, and then the trip for the bachelor party is always like $500 more because they want to go to Puerto Rico. They want to live out the Puerto Rico. They want to live out the last of their single days going like this.
Well, everyone's going to go to
dollar bills. And dollar bills flying.
So first of all, I'm going to give you $500 right now.
Hey!
Dave, once again, our consultant, $500 to drop for the. Is it unfair? Or is it okay?
I don't think it's unreasonable. It's just part of it. It's just like I have 2 daughters. You understand this, Mark, and I know that I'm going to have to pay for some weddings at some point. That's just what it is. If you're going to be a part of the bridal party, then that's what comes with it. I don't feel like $500 is that unreasonable because if the bride said Beyonce's coming tomorrow, people will find the $500.
Okay, see
what? Is Beyonce going to be at the wedding? Because then I might pay that $500. If Beyonce is going to be at that wedding.
All right. Dave, it's great to see you as always. How can they follow you, real quick?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at The Business Bully.
Awesome, so much. Okay, still ahead, we're talking about shopping locally this holiday season, how you can find great deals for those you love right here in Baltimore. But first, we'll talk about ways to avoid packing on extra pounds this holiday season. I need that one. Stick around.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Well, no one wants to admit it, but many of us pack on a few extra pounds during the holidays. If you want some accountability and need to keep track of your health this season, Stacey Bell has your solution. Here she is with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
If you're like me and everybody in your house is on a health journey, this Counto digital scale is really going to help you maintain a healthy lifestyle. I did a lot of research and I'm so excited about this. I'm going to show you what you get when you bring it home. But it is a digital scale and it gives you 12 different body measurements, not just your weight, because our weight really fluctuates. So this is going to give you more information, like you'll get your BMI, your bone index, and your basal metabolic rate. And if you're a new mom, it's really cool because there's a baby growth setting and you can put it in baby mode. And if you're an athlete, like I have a lot of muscle men in my house, you can also measure your muscle mass. I don't like getting on a scale, I do not, but knowledge is power and this gives me so much information. It's really been a game changer with my health along that journey. This pairs with any smartphone, so you can take all of that data on this scale and it's gonna be on your app. Now, let me tell you how this works. The science is a little bit much. The scale can measure all these things. All you got to do, you step on it. It uses bioelectrical impedance, which measures how easily an electrical signal can move throughout your body. I know it's a lot, but that signal is going to move faster through muscle, so it can help you track what's muscle and what's fat. This is such a great deal and a cool product. Right now, we're offering 38% off the Counto scale. Head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Green Mountain Loan and Jewelry.
I'm at Green Mountain Loan and Jewelry. You guys have been a fixture in Baltimore for over 37 years. I'm with Aaron, the man. So when you come in, ask for Aaron. So Aaron, what's been the secret to the success for all these years?
Well, thanks for coming in, Mark. I think what we can attribute to staying in business that long is the relationships that we have with our customers. And we go a little, above and beyond what a normal jeweler would do. We're a pawnbroker, and I think it's just the relationships that we have with all of our customers.
I love the fact that in addition to having great jewelry, you also make jewelry. You can come in, people can say what they want, and you guys can make it happen. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. We have a master jeweler that's been with us for well over 25 years. I don't think there's a job that's too big or too small that he couldn't tackle. I'd put him up against any other jeweler. As far as just the simple everyday of sizing a ring, soldering a chain. If anybody has any broken jewelry or anything like that, they can more than welcome to bring it in. We can fix it for them. On the topic of broken jewelry, gold is through the roof right now. So it's a very, very good time to sell any of that unwanted or broken jewelry that you have as well.
And I think it's the relationships you guys have. You know, we've been here, people coming through, you know their names, they've been here many times before, they're satisfied with what you have. Let's talk about those things that you have. Let's start with the watches and jewelry.
Oh man, watches are like one of my favorite things in the world to buy and sell. We have a couple Rolexes that have just hit the floor today.
Wait a minute now.
Oh man.
Not the Rollies.
That's a 41 date just, and that is a Submariner with a diamond bezel on it.
Nice.
I have a real nice Breitling that has a 5.5 carat diamond bezel on it as well.
I see you have work equipment, you have televisions, I see cameras. You offer like a variety of things.
We do. Any high-end stereo, audio-video equipment we can take in, musical instruments, any sort of saws, drills, and laptops we take in. You know, they have to be fairly new. They can't be older than 2 years, but the good part about that is the laptops that we take in, they're in very good condition. So if you were looking for a laptop, you could come in and purchase one, and it's going to be, you know, new to you is what we call it, brand used.
And Aaron, that's something, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, when people are trying to make a decision on where to go, there's a reason you've been here for 37 years. Talk to us about the relationships and why you're a trusted company to deal with.
It's just the proof is in the pudding, as my father liked to say. And all of the guys here, they back it up with their word. What they say goes, and we're trustworthy, and we back it up with every single job that we do, every single loan that we write. We do what we say.
Aaron, where can our viewers go for more information?
Oh, great question, Mark. You can check us out on Facebook or online at greenmountloan.com.
Still ahead, believing before seeing. Coming up, we'll chat with an author and influencer about how you can help make your dreams come true. But first, it's Diabetic Awareness Eye Disease Month. Coming up, how eye health is connected to our overall well-being.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by the American Society of Retina Specialists.
November is Diabetic Eye Disease Awareness Month, and the American Society of Retina Specialists is urging Americans to pay attention to their vision. Here to discuss is Foundation of ASRS President, Dr. Judy E. Kim. Dr. Kim, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Kim, I'm going to try to say this correctly. What is diabetic retinopathy? Is that how you say it?
It's diabetic retinopathy. It's literally translated as disease of the retina in people with diabetes. Diabetic retinopathy.
Retinopathy. And so it's crazy because my mother actually suffered from this. So what did a new survey reveal about Americans' knowledge of this disease?
8 million people in America have diabetic retinopathy. And when American Society of Retina Specialists, ASRS, surveyed people, over 40% did not know the symptoms of diabetic retinopathy, and over half did not know that diabetes can cause blindness, irreversible vision loss. So we are trying to change that, educate our viewers that people with diabetes should have their eyes examined with dilated eye examination for any retinopathy by retina specialists.
And what increases your risk of developing diabetic retinopathy, and what are the warning signs?
Risk factors are multiple, but main one is how long you've had the disease, which you cannot control. However, there are other things that you can control, and there's a cute mnemonic that I've made up, A, B, C, D, E, and S. A for A1C, which is your blood sugar control, B for blood pressure, and C for cholesterol control. D for good diet, and E for exercise. 30 minutes of walking a day, really good. And then S for quitting smoking, cessation of smoking. If you can work on all of these, along with your eye examination once a year, then you can really decrease the risk of vision loss from diabetic retinopathy.
And can you tell us about the advances in diagnosis and treatment of the disease and what can save and even improve our vision?
There has been multiple advancements, both in diagnosis aspect with improved imaging like never before. Also in treatment, we have injections that we can give into the eye called anti-vascular endothelial growth factors. Also different types of steroids. In addition, we have huge advancements in surgery in more advanced cases of diabetic retinopathy.
And Dr. Kim, thank you so much for this powerful information. Where can our listeners go for more information?
Please go to our website, cforalifetime.org, cforalifetime.org. There's wealth of information there, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Now, for your best weather in America, meteorologist Justin Chambers joins us.
Yeah, really pretty shot here. This is my friend in Tennessee, Murfreesboro weather. That is just to the south and to the east of Nashville. And you can see that sunset there. Man, it looks like, I don't know, cotton candy or something really cool. It says 0 filter. So a lot of us love this time of year, especially as we get deeper into fall. Kind of right in the middle of November right now. We're going to have a mix of clouds and sun as we head toward the afternoon. A little less windy for today with warmer temperatures that are coming, not only this afternoon, but even as we get later into the work week as well and closer to the weekend. So upper 50s and lower 60s is where we're going to be for your next few hours. And overall, dry conditions, about 3 or 4 degrees above average for some of us. In fact, you can see those numbers across Carroll and Baltimore counties. Upper 50s for Westminster and Eldersburg, over to Reisterstown at 58, 56 in Towson and Perry Hall, over to White Marsh today, 57 for you Dundalk and Essex and Middle River. Lower 60s continue from Baltimore down through D.C., even out to Cumberland and Western Maryland, and right about 60 in Richmond for the afternoon. Now, Ravens Gamecast looking pretty good for Thursday night. We're going to warm up nicely tomorrow afternoon, but we'll drop to those 50s by about 8:15 for the kickoff, and those numbers will drop as we head into the evening. But overall, a very nice night for some football here in Charm City. Upper 60s tomorrow, 70 by Friday, and then those numbers are definitely coming back down as we head toward this upcoming weekend. So we're not tracking any rain. We'll have a little bit more of that high cloud cover around Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, bright sunny skies, lots of sunshine and warmer temperatures. Friday, we get the cloud cover coming in ahead of our next weather maker, but the only thing that's going to do is just kind of cloud things up a bit. The rain, not really an impact until Friday evening and early Saturday morning. That's as that cold front comes through, and we'll see breezy conditions, but drier on Saturday and into Sunday as well. On your 10-day forecast, you can see the turkey right there on the right side of your screen. So we are tracking a weather maker next week that could impact a lot of people, millions of people traveling, especially up and down the East Coast, Tuesday night into Wednesday. Obviously, as we get closer, we'll keep our eye on that for you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Lux Media and Candace Barr.
Candace Barr is a serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, a mentor, an international elite master networker, and now an author. Her first book is called Believing Before Seeing, and it's about manifesting and completing your dreams. Candace, I love it. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. How are you doing?
Great. So tell us about your book and what's the meaning behind your book title, Believing Before Seeing.
So I'm so excited. I'm going to have it in my hands in a few days. It's like birthing a baby. Believing before seeing, you know, I think everyone was taught incorrectly. People usually say, when I see it, I believe it. It's completely wrong. You have to believe it, you have to feel into it, and then you'll see it.
I love it. So where did the inspiration to write Believing Before Seeing come from?
Actually, truthfully, it came to me in a dream. The book title came to me in a dream. The chapter titles came to me in a dream, and even all the content. So it wasn't really something I was focusing on. It just came to me, and I then had to write it. So.
And what can the readers expect from this book?
They can expect to actually get real tools, information, how to actually manifest, how to visualize, how to get the thing that you want into your hands or into your bank account or into your life in real ways that I have used throughout my life.
And so, you know, we know you're a serial entrepreneur. Is this book directed towards other entrepreneurs as well?
You know, a lot of it is directed toward entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs have to be visionaries first and foremost. They have to be creative. And a lot of entrepreneurs that I know, they use manifestation in different ways, believing in something inside yourself and also outside yourself. But really, it's for anyone who needs some inspiration, motivation, and to realize their personal power again.
And Candace, where can we buy the book, and will there be any sequels to the book?
There's absolutely going to be sequels. It was written for sequels. Think of maybe Chicken Soup for the Soul, but Believing Before Seeing sequels. And right now they can buy it directly from Lux Media. So if they find us on Lux Media Studios, on Instagram, they can DM us and we will get the book out to them.
And Candace, as we wrap things up, who is this book for? Who is this book for? You know, our viewers are watching right now. Who is it specifically for?
It's for anyone who needs some inspiration, motivation. It's for anyone who is tired of their life kind of being the same, wants more, knows that they can get more. They just maybe don't know the direction or how to get it. This is to help these people.
I love it. Candace, thanks so much for that information, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Still ahead, when it comes to tipping, have things gone too far? Coming up, how more people are saying they're being asked to tip in more situations than in the past, and what you're saying about it. A majority of Americans say they're being asked to tip more often. A new survey finds 72% of adults say tipping is expected in more places now than 5 years ago. And there's a mixed response on when to tip. Nearly half of Americans say it depends on the situation, while nearly a third say it's more often an obligation. The rest say it's more of a choice. And of course, we wanted to hear you tell it. Do you always leave a tip? Right now, most of you are saying most of the time. Great show lined up for tomorrow. Christmas will be here before you know it. And this year, some gifts are going retro. In fact, check in your attic for the OG version. Coming up on tomorrow's show, the toys that are making a comeback this year.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@foxbaltimore.com.
So this morning, I did a hit at the food bank, and it was just a great reminder, if you make sure you can drop some things off. They were saying the demand is up 30%. So if you can, stop by a food bank and help out, okay? Again, thanks for inviting us into your home as always. Follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.